One of my favorite passages in the Bible is Isaiah 6, and it's this moment where Isaiah encounters the Lord, and he says, "I saw the Lord high and lifted up, and the train of his robe was filling the temple," and he hears angels saying, "Holy, holy, holy is the Lord." And there's a smoke filling the temple, there's shaking happening as the angels are saying, "Holy, holy, holy." Isaiah's encountering the Lord, and his reaction is he says, "Woe to me, for I'm a man of unclean lips, and I live among a people of unclean lips, and my eyes have seen the Lord." And so he's in awe of what's happening, and he's experiencing the presence of the Lord. And immediately an angel comes, and he has tongs, and he's holding a burning coal, and he touches his lips and says, "See, this has touched your lips. Your guilt is taken away. Your shame and your sin is atoned for." And so right after that, he hears the Lord say, who will I send? Who will go for me?" And Isaiah says, "Here am I, send me." And for me, what I love is that there's this moment where Isaiah's encountering the Lord, and immediately he begins to see the goodness. He sees all this over here of like the Lord is so good, and he sees him and the perfection of the Lord, and he immediately exposes his sin. It exposes all these things inside of him. And so immediately he starts to feel inadequate. And then the angel brings this coal, and the reality is there's this moment for us when we see the Lord and we see his goodness, and when we actually understand how good the Lord is, immediately our sin and the things inside of us are exposed. Just as the angel comes and touches Isaiah with the coal, so when we allow Jesus to come and we allow him to actually touch our lives, he takes away the sin, he takes away the guilt. And I find myself so many times in this tension where I see that the Lord is good and immediately exposes the sin in my life, but if I don't allow Jesus to come in and touch my life, it's easy for me to try to fix the things inside of me. And I might even try to do things like read the Bible and pray and be in worship. And I'm doing all these things because I'm trying to be this perfect thing that I feel like the Lord's asking me to do. But the reality is all he wants is for us to be touched by Jesus. So there's this verse in Hebrews 12 where Paul says, "Let us lay aside everything that hinders us and all the sin that so easily entangles us." And he says, "Let us run with perseverance the race that God has called us to." And how do we do this? He says, by fixing our eyes on Jesus, the perfecter and the finisher of our faith. Fixing our eyes on Jesus. And so I want to encourage you, even though sometimes living out the gospel isn't easy, it is simple. And it's when we fix our eyes on Jesus, he's the one that comes, he's the one that touches us, and he's the one that transforms us. And when we try to do things on our own, it makes it actually harder for ourselves because it's impossible. We can't do it. But when we allow Jesus to come in and touch us, it's his power, it's him living in us, and it's relationship with him that actually transforms us. And so let's fix our eyes on Jesus, let's focus in on him and let him do the work in our lives.